Okay, I'm talking. Yeah, I turn on my mic. Hello. Okay, thank you.
Friends, we are moments away from beginning the commencement program for the class of 2021. All attendees should start lining up, and all attendees should take their seats with their family pods. Once seated, you may remove your mask. If rain becomes an issue with individuals, there is a live stream of this event in the meeting house. Friends, we are moments away from beginning the commencement program for the class of 2021. All attendees should take their seats with their family pods. Once seated, you may remove your mask. All graduates, please be in your places, as well as faculty. Thank you. And if you are using an umbrella, which you are welcome to do so, please keep it close to your head to obstruct view as little as possible for the people behind you. Thank you. Just a reminder that if the rain becomes too much for anyone attending today, there is a live stream in the meeting house for you to watch if the rain becomes too much for you. We will be outside, but that's where that is.
Good morning, friends. My name is Margaret Sayers. I am a member of Abington Meeting, the clerk of Abington Friends School Committee, and the mother of 2 AFS alums, both lifers. In the manner of friends, please join me in a moment of shared silence. Thank you. On behalf of the school committee, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to commencement for the class of 2021, Abington Friends School's 324th graduating class. Handing out diplomas has been my favorite duty as clerk of the school committee for the past 8 years. It was a little bittersweet in 2016 and 2018 when my 2 children graduated, and it is bittersweet today. I am feeling a great deal of empathy for the young people graduating today because after 16 years as a member of the community, first as a parent and most recently as school committee clerk, it is time for me to move on. The rest of this morning will be all about the graduates as it should be, but I cannot sit down without sharing 3 thank yous. First, I want to thank all of the parents and other family members who made it possible for these young people to attend AFS. I say this at every commencement, and I do feel deeply grateful every year, but this year I am especially appreciative of the parent community. In the face of all the uncertainty about what the 2021 school year would look like, you re-enrolled your children, and by doing so, you helped to keep our community whole. For the past 16 months, community and connection have been more important than ever. For keeping our community whole, and for the myriad ways that you have supported your children, each other, and our school, please accept my heartfelt thanks. Next, I want to thank the members of the AFS faculty for all they have done during this most challenging of school years. I have used so many superlatives over the years to describe this faculty that I have exhausted the options. So today, I am turning to the world of sports and comparing this group of outstanding educators to Simone Biles. Hard to imagine that anyone does not know who she is, but just in case, she's an incredibly multi-talented gymnast who is winning at just about everything she does. She dominates the balance beam, the vault, the floor, etc. You get the idea. Just as our teachers do every year, they have provided a rich educational experience for their students. They have also, this year, provided the extra social and emotional support that so many young people have needed during the pandemic. They did this while dealing with their own stress and taking care of their own families. And like Simone, they accomplished everything without magic, although sometimes it seems that Simone and our teachers possess supernatural powers. No, the faculty accomplished it all with the basics: hard work, dedication, and grace. Today, I am declaring our teachers the Faculty GOAT, which, in case anyone doesn't know, stands for Greatest of All Time. Thank you, and please enjoy a restful and rejuvenating summer. And finally, I want to thank the entire AFS community, from Rich Norrie to the school committee, to the faculty, families, and students, for allowing me to serve as your school committee clerk. It has been a great honor. Thank you. And now, lower school music teacher Keisha Herlinger will lead our first grade pages in a song dedicated to the class of 2021.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Liang, and I am an international student from China. I'm very honored to be one of the speakers today at graduation. Sadly, my parents can't be here with me because of the pandemic. They're now watching me live on YouTube, and I'd like to speak to them for a moment in Mandarin and express how much I appreciate their sacrifices. Just for a heads up, I won't be translating this entire message word by word because love is universal in all languages. 爸爸妈妈，谢谢你们所有的付出、支持和爱。你们生育、养育，并且成就了今天的我。我感到十分幸运能成为你们的女儿，而且我会继续努力，去成为你们的骄傲和更好的自己。我爱你们。Now, I still have a lot left to say to my class and everyone here. I still remember standing in the rainy intermission of the outdoor theater production Everybody on the closing night of the show. Even though the rain soaked the cushions of our chairs, everyone applauded and cheered at the sight of the surprise rainbow that appeared from behind the clouds. Hopefully we can see a rainbow after this one too. This is one of the moments I will remember AFS by. Even through this past year full of hardships and challenges, I could see the resilience, courage, and optimism as we all tried our best to adapt to new norms in how we live and learn, holding on to the hope for spotting a rainbow after the storm. For people who might not have had a chance to see this amazing theater production, the show Everybody captures an internal dialogue of the main character, named Everybody, in the face of death. Throughout the production, everybody repeatedly tries to grasp onto something to take with them as they walk into this unknown journey, which is also known as afterlife, until they realize the fact that we have come to this world empty-handed and alone. Materialistic things or even our loved ones cannot accompany us throughout every moment of our life. I personally have been having some internal dialogues with myself. Different from everybody in the play who reflects life and afterlife, I reflect upon my 4 years at the AFS, and I wonder what I'm leaving behind and what I'm able to bring with me as I embrace an unknown chapter of my life. As an international student from Qingdao, China, 7,088 miles away, new to this country and to the AFS community, I came possessing nothing but fear, loneliness, and burdens of my expectations. Now, after 4 years, I cannot verbally express how fortunate I feel that I chose AFS. And in the reality of this universe, AFS chose me. I know that I cannot pack all of the people that I've met here into my suitcase, but their influence and mentorship have become part of me. I remember that when I was too self-conscious about my accent to say a word in classes in freshman year, my teachers just read my mind and had daily conversations with me after class to boost my speaking skills as well as my confidence. My first-year host mom was the first person with whom I found home. When I dared not to speak to my own mom in China, afraid that if I heard her voice, I would break down and give up, I could only reconcile with my homesickness and difficulties adjusting through late-night conversations with her. The girl who turned around and talked to me in the auditorium during orientation day has stuck with me for 4 years and more. My roommate has become my sister. There are just so many beautiful memories of this place and of its people that I cannot mention everyone or everything. But I want all of you to know that the time we spent together has pieced together a full rainbow for me. You have lightened my life when I felt alienated and out of place in a strange country. You have brought me joy when I was not content with myself. And more importantly, you have given me home. My experiences at AFS taught me how to love other people, how to love the environment, and how to love myself. Now, standing in front of the wonderful class of 2021, I see that love reflected in every one of you. Dom might have been right that no one is actually completely ready for life and its surprises. But we as a class are graduating with hearts full of love, passion, kindness, and strength. And even though we will face unexpected challenges, we're ready to grasp onto any side of the rainbow that appears in our lives. Thank you. Go Roos.
Good morning. I'm Max Newman. As anyone who was with us in middle school will remember, each year we signed a community care contract. Though the printed name of a pre-adolescent, scrawled at an angle in colored marker, may not be legally binding, it represented our commitment to ask ourselves, is it kind? Is it safe? Does it build community? Above all else, AFS is a community of values. Though we now follow a longer set of community norms, each guideline, at its core, is still based on the values of kindness, safety, and perhaps most importantly, community. So let's think about our class. Have we been kind? I think so. We've had our bumps along the way, like any group of high schoolers, but my classmates are some of the nicest people I've ever met. Classmates I may not talk to every day or even every week will still brighten my day with a genuine compliment when I least expect it. Kindness goes deeper than that too. I've seen my classmates extend their kindness to other grades, helping to welcome underclassmen onto teams and into clubs. Have we been safe? Well, a few concussions and broken bones on the field or court might point to no, but we can ignore that for now. The class of 2021 has helped to make the community a safer place to exist in by calling out injustice when we see it and affecting policy change. We've been vocal and persistent, ensuring that everyone in the community is heard and seen. That brings me to my last idea, building community. One recurring theme you hear about in commencement speeches is how students are going off into the real world and how they'll bring their high school experience with them. Thinking about my class, I find this idea almost demeaning. Perhaps the first generation to grow up with the breadth of human knowledge in our pocket at all times, we've had no choice but to be in the real world all along. When I look at my classmates, I see a group not that is bringing high school into the real world, but rather a group who has brought the real world into their high school. In Ability Aware, BSU, Environmental Action and Justice, AWARE, OLA, Asian Affinity, Jewish Affinity, and more, my classmates have brought their experiences to the community in the hopes of making it a better place. Our class has ensured that even clubs not traditionally associated with social justice, like Marvel Club or Fashion Club, have offered the opportunity for people to share their stories and find ways to make their special interests more inclusive. We've mobilized as a community in protests for racial justice, climate justice, and more. Even those who do not participate in those actions directly bring their personal stories to English, history, advisory, and the arts, helping to broaden their points of view and others. We are a community of countless experiences, and we use these to help each other grow and become better people along the way. I am proud to stand amongst a group of friends who are defined by more than numbers and grades. Friends who stand up for others, who help build teams from the ground up, and who have started businesses and charities. We've been told year after year that our grade is something special, that our chemistry makes us resilient, respectful, and hardworking. This challenging year has proven that we are. So though it saddens me to see us go our separate ways, I know we will be bringing our real world to new places, making them kinder, safer communities along the way. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sarani. I would like to share an ancient Chinese poem from the Han Dynasty about the worry and hope of starting a new adventure. The name of the poem is 行行重行行, and in English, it means starting a long journey. 行行重行行，与君生别离。相去万余里，各在天一涯。道路阻且长，会面安可知？胡马依北风，越鸟巢南枝。相去日已远，衣带日已缓。浮云蔽白日，游子不顾返。思君令人老，岁月忽已晚。弃捐勿复到，努力加餐饭。We're going to start a new journey full of possibilities and unknown. The departure means that some of us will be apart from each other. The road ahead of us might have obstacles, and the time we take to overcome them might be too long. We don't know when we will see each other again, but we know that the next time we meet will be a witness of growth. Sometimes we want to linger here, at this moment, a little longer, just to feel the memories we have built and the emotions that we have felt. But there will be a point when we suddenly look back and realize that we have already landed in a future that we used to fear. Will we still look the same? What will that look like? Thinking about these questions might hold you back from moving forward. But you don't need to answer now, because you will seek your own way. I just wish you good health, delicious food, and a joyful life. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Nicholas Sedasian, and I have the honor and the pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker this morning, Michael J. Harding. Michael graduated from Abington Friends School in 2014. He is currently a second-year law student at Villanova University, where he is also a public interest scholar. Before law school, Michael completed a year of service with City Year AmeriCorps as a tutor and mentor in a K-8 school in Philadelphia. He has a clear passion for public interest law, as shown by his devout work for the community. He is currently a board member of Equal Justice Works, the nation's largest facilitator of opportunities in public interest law, and serves as chair as the organization's National Advisory Committee. He's also a member of the Appellate Project's mentorship cohort, which enables Black and Brown law students to engage with and learn from appellate practitioners about effective advocacy in our nation's highest courts. Michael has previously worked with the Justice at Work and the Public Interest Law Center, two Philadelphia-based public interest nonprofit organizations. He currently works as a law clerk at Terrace and Pravlik and Milan, LLP, a public interest law firm in Washington, D.C. It is clear that Michael has a calling to fight for justice for people of all ages, genders, races, and ethnicities. I see the same passion and grit in him as I do in all my fellow classmates. In Michael's senior recognition speech, his teachers praised him for going above and beyond every time, whether it was in his academic work in clubs like BSU or in soccer, which he would continue to play as a Division I college athlete. As his teachers put it, he demonstrates that a positive spirit and determination will help us all achieve our goals. Friends, please join me in welcoming back to AFS, Michael J. Harding.
Good morning. Thank you, Nick, for that warm introduction. It's great to be back here at AFS after so many years. You know, Rich told me he believed a younger voice would resonate with this year's class, but looking at you all today, I have to admit, I'm feeling a little old right now. This really adds new meaning to the phrase quarter-life crisis. No, but in all seriousness, to Rich, the school committee, faculty, staff, family, friends, and of course, this incredible class of 2021, thank you for inviting me to share this special moment with you all today. When Rich asked me to deliver remarks at this year's commencement, I was obviously flattered and a little surprised, but in truth, I was hesitant to say yes. Throughout its long and rich history, this institution has welcomed remarkable individuals to stand where I am now to impart wisdom, cultivated over decades of experience as authors, artists, business leaders, scientists, and so on. Rarely, if ever, has someone my age been asked to share wisdom. Now, more often it's the case that a 20-something-year-old like me boasts expertise in finding which bars have the best $5 margaritas at happy hour. So you can imagine my instinctual perplexity at the thought of standing here before you today. And to be honest, I struggled with my decision to be here because this is an important responsibility. There's a unique weight and history permeating this space. And so I was worried that I'd messed this up or just wasn't the right person to answer this call. I thought to myself, what could I possibly say to this group of 17 and 18-year-olds on the cusp of adulthood? Would they even listen to me? Would my words ring true? Simply put, why me? So I let my mind wander, and I was reminded of something Rich said to me not too long ago when I expressed my hesitancy in accepting. And he asked me to share my story, to speak my truth, as it were. It's pretty good advice, I thought, right? Persuasive. So that's what I've decided to do. I live a life of inquiry, guided by interminable curiosity. In other words, I ask a lot of questions about myself, about the world and my place in it. Like, who am I? What values do I hold dear? What kind of person do I want to be, and why? How do I want people to remember me? And what do I want most out of my life? Now, some of you may assume that with all these questions swirling around in my head year after year, that by now, surely, I must have figured out at least some answers. And that would be a rational assumption to make. But the truth is, I haven't, which is simultaneously maddening, yet liberating. However, these questions have led me on an unexpected journey of self-discovery and to get a taste of what the world has to offer. For example, fireside chats with elders of the Lakota tribe showed me the power of storytelling to preserve a people's cultural identity. Roundtable conversations with students in Tanzania showed me and reminded me of hip-hop's utility as an instrument of civil discourse. Visits to cramped slave dungeons on Ghana's beaches juxtapose the beauty and pain that complicate the human condition. And interviews with young activists in Spain and in Chile about the legacies of dictatorships in their societies made clear that the pursuit of justice transcends geopolitical borders, cultural locales, and outlasts generations. Through these experiences, I developed a palpable sense of purpose. I entered law school guided by the conviction that lawyers can be stewards of democracy by harnessing the law's potential for good to ensure the lived experiences of those on society's margins are more fair and fruitful. So I guess what I've come to recognize and appreciate over the years is that it's not really the answers to those seemingly endless questions that really matters. No. It's the pursuit of those answers. And maybe even more fundamentally, asking the questions themselves. because therein lies the marvel and richness of the human experience. Therein lies the point of all of this: growth. It's about having an undying, insatiable appetite to learn, to experience, to try, to fall, to rise again, to doubt, to push beyond perceived limits, to grow. In my eyes, this is the proverbial gift that keeps on giving. Because if you're willing to ask questions, to find value in imperfection, to be unburdened by what is or has been, and instead envision what could be, you'll find your happiness and your truth. Class of 2021, you all have an undoubtedly tall task ahead of you. With uncertainties surrounding the pandemic, the changing climate, and various societal conflicts, you all are entering an ever-changing and unfamiliar world. It's true. But be sure to remember that you are budding change agents who have found and leveraged your voices for good. You all have been willing to lean into discomfort in order to catalyze meaningful change in your communities around environmental justice and racial equity. Like my own, your stories are still unfolding. But AFS has prepared you for what lies ahead, whatever that may be. You now have the tools you need at your disposal. Use them. Even as you leave this community that some of you may have considered a second home since you were in preschool, know that you will always take it with you wherever you find yourselves in the world. And believe me, if you ever dreaded going to meeting for worship, and you know who you are, but we won't name names, you'll genuinely miss it and will cherish any moment you get to sit in silence and engage in intentional self-reflection. So, class of 2021, congratulations on your remarkable achievement. Enjoy this day and treasure your membership in the AFS community. As you walk across this stage, grab your diplomas and proceed to head out into the world, I'll leave you with an all too familiar request. Go well. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Amani Jackson, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Senior Class Gift Committee. Abington Friends School is a different kind of school than the ones you may see in the movies, where kids are stuffed into huge classes with teachers who don't know them. Here, there is so much more room for growth and independence, allowing us to be ourselves and create strong relationships. Over the past 4 years, our class, the 324th graduating class of AFS, has become a family. We work together every chance we get. In 10th and 11th grade, we pulled off the best hallways for Spirit Week. Together, we have grown from little ninth graders to the facilitators, mentors, clerks, team captains, and leaders we are today. We are resilient. We survived half of our junior year and our entire senior year in a pandemic. Here we are today, together and in person, something we weren't sure would happen. As we embark on our new journeys, we want to leave AFS with a space where generations to come can brainstorm, have deep conversations, and build relationships just as we did. Because of the pandemic, we have spent more time outdoors than usual, and we have come to love being outside together. We, the class of 2021, are giving a gift of 4 comfortable and blue Adirondack chairs grouped together for students to enjoy a beautiful AFS outdoor space. Dom, you have been with us throughout our journey here, and you are graduating with us. Thank you for all you have done for our class, especially during this hard year. We'll miss you.
Thank you very much, Amani, for those kind words. And thank you to this graduating class for the wonderful gift. On behalf of the upper school community and the entire AFS community, I'm proud to accept this gift, which I know future generations of AFS students will definitely appreciate. Thanks so much. And now I would like to introduce Justin Solninka, who will be leading our upper school chamber singers in a song for the senior class, Irish Blessing.
Thank you, Justin and chamber singers. Thank you, Margaret Sayers, Kathy Liang, Max Newman, Sarah Nee, Nick Sidesian, Amani Jackson, and Dom for their thoughtful and very meaningful words and messages. Michael, you were outstanding. Thank you for those words. My heart is so full seeing all of you together in this grove, under umbrellas, because this is where our seniors wanted to be. And they knew that this community would do whatever it took to make sure that that happened. And that's been so emblematic of this year. Hearing our student speakers this morning, reflecting on all of you seniors in this class, I'm so proud of you. And I'm also thinking, what a gift you, parents and families, have given your children in this education. At this moment, I'd like to ask all to join me in a moment of appreciation for Dom Gerard's leadership over the past 5 years. His care for students and stewardship of our community are deeply appreciated, and we wish him all good things in his new adventures. Please join me in thanking Dom. I'd also like to lift up and give thanks for the profound leadership of Margaret Sayers as clerk of our school committee for the past 9 years. Margaret's deep affinity for the Quaker mission of our school, tireless advocacy for AFS, and her vision for our community at its best have been extraordinary gifts to me and to our entire community. Please join me in enthusiastically thanking Margaret as she steps down from her role. And now, seniors, I have just a few words for you in these last minutes before you leave this place as our newest alumni. For me, one of the most moving moments of this past year may have been your first meeting for worship in the meeting house in April, the first time in over a year that you had been in that very special place. It was also one of the first times that you had all been together as a class in all of that time. Walking into the meeting house on that bright spring morning was such an evocative moment. To again be in that sacred space in all of its deep familiarity was moving to all of us, full of silent, profound emotion as you entered and found seats throughout. The first words shared out of the silence that morning were about how hard this year has been. The isolation, the losses. Many spoke to a sense of loss of self that all of us could relate to. The trust and vulnerability of those who shared was notable and moving. There then came a slow transformation in the energy of the room and words shared as you began to speak about how much you mean to each other, to recount stories of the many years you've had together, going back to lower school, middle school, and early high school days. I could see the spirit of your class being breathed back into life as you became grounded in all that you mean to each other, all that the AFS community has meant to you in ways that far transcend this really challenging year. It was a meeting for worship that held the whole of your experience together, and it led to a profound spirit of hope, thanksgiving, and love of each other and of this place. And there are two lasting things that I encourage you to take from that experience of that morning. First is to note the power of relationships in the people in your lives. Human beings are inescapably social beings. We literally don't exist in isolation. We think together, feel together, figure things out together, inspire and console each other. As you head to new places, remember that you will always have this community as your foundation, and it will be important to intentionally grow and cultivate new communities in your life to extend this foundation. What we've learned is that we are not alone and can do almost anything with the strength and love of others in our lives. The second thing to note is the power of sacred spaces experienced and shared in community. When I go to meeting for worship each week, or to my church as I do on most Sundays, what I find is a different kind of space, literally and figuratively, that opens up a new kind of space within me. I know that you too have experienced that often in this very special place of the meeting house. I don't think what happened in meeting in April could have happened in any other space. And so I encourage you to intentionally seek out not only new relationships, but also sacred places in your life that allow you to feel a different kind of depth and perspective than the everyday. It is just such a space in the meeting house that has nurtured your inner lives and connections with each other so beautifully. That's been built into your daily experience, and now you have to seek out and find that in your life with intention. My final word to you is one of thanks. You've been an extraordinary senior class in your grace, resourcefulness, humility, leadership, and care for each other, younger students, and your teachers. We will always remember this very special year with you and encourage you to return often. Congratulations, class of 2021. And now we begin the awarding of diplomas. Need a little bit of direction from...
Yep. Class of 2021, it is time to start receiving your diplomas. May we have Group 1 and Group 2 please move to your locations. Group 1 should line up in front of the faculty. Good job. Wait. Students, seniors, as you walk across the stage, you'll receive your diploma from Margaret. You will shake hands with Rich, and then please remember to pause on the right side of the stage for a photograph. Isabella Ray Aguilar. Daniel Ryan Amato. Drew Luis Arteaga. Charlotte Sachs Averill. Emily L. Barker. Dylan Lawrence Burney. Maeve Adeline Callahan. Abby Layla Cameroux. William John Campbell. Nicholas Cody Sedacian. Group 3, please move to your space. Devin Ananda Costello Henderson. Maxwell Harrington Emery. Justin A. Forbes. Lucas Wolf Garcia. Samuel Jordan Gauk. Casey Lynn Getz. Catherine Alden Noel Gingrich. Michael Samad Green. Jamie Sidney Greenberg. Madeline Christina Hill. Group 4, please move to your space. Quickly. Amani Nayamka Jackson. Hey, hey. Alexandra Van Arum Kiernan. Kareem Andreas Creedy. James Christopher Lewis. Lee Mung Chi, Mandy. Watch your step, watch your step. Lee Yuru, Rita. Liang Iran, Kathy. Silas Marie McKee Lloyd. Madison Elizabeth Lush. Sophia Francesca Mealy. Group 5, please move to your space. Liam Nguyen Merritt. Robert Thomas Maletti. Max Perry Newman. Ni Lin Li Sarah. Perry Dariga Oberman. Pan Reichi Ricky.
I want to thank AFS for supporting me for the last 4 years. Everyone knows each other in the school. The teachers are super nice. My advisor, Mary Jimenez, is the most caring person in the world. And I really enjoy spending time studying here.
Noah Sanjay Pierce. Caleb Matthew Perez. Sophie Catherine Peterson. Melanie Dawn Popple. Claire Elizabeth Robinson. Andrew Peter Romano. Zanaya Ross Barnes. I think I'm blocking people's view. You can take it down. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Take a picture. Take a picture right here. Sylvia May Schofer. Wadner C. Simon. Anna Lenore Riley Spurger. Tong Li Wen Kevin. Nathaniel Zachary Thorne. Noah Vinogradov. Lillian Marie Wallace Larkin. Wong Luyang Mark. Mia Gabriela Wong Herrera. Gabrielle Leah Wexler. Ayana Renee Williams. Joe Ju Michael. the class of 2021, will you please rise? Very proud to present to you the 324th graduating class of the Abington Friends School. Please move your tassels to the other side. Friends, this concludes our commencement ceremony. Class, you may toss your hats if you so choose. Congratulations and go well.